Last problem here in section C. We have those 5 students that measured their height again. Instead of using feet, they wanted to use inches before doing their calculations. So what we're going to do is multiply every one of these numbers by 12 so that we can turn all these feet into inches. So let's go ahead in our calculator, and we got 5.25 times 12, and we get 63. So our first number is 63 because I just multiplied it by 12. Second one, 5.5 times 12, and that gives me 66 inches. And conveniently I repeat that 5.5, so I have 66 inches again. Then I have 6, and 6 times 12, you guys should know that in your head, that's 72. And then finally 6.25 times 12, and now I've multiplied all 5 numbers in my list by 12, and I got 75 there. Doing our 5 number summary, we're getting quick with that. We take our middle value, 66. That's our median. Our low value is our min, 63, and our high is 75. Now, remember, the reason I can just pick the middle, the left, and the right is because they are in order. If they are not in order, you cannot do that. To find my first quartile, I look over here on this side of my median, and I say, what's in between 63 and 66? Because I don't have a middle number here, I have to take the average of these two. And 63 and 66, if you average them together, you add them together and divide by 2. So add them together, then divide by 2, I would get 64.5. And 64.5 is exactly halfway in between those two numbers. Same thing over here, between 72 and 75, if I add them together and divide by 2, it will be 73.5. 73.5 is halfway between these two. So that's my third quartile. My median, we already wrote that down, that's 66. Mean and standard deviation, we'll wait for the calculator. The range, from the highest to the lowest, from 75 down to 63, we subtract 75 minus 63, I'll even write that out, 75 minus 63 is 12. The IQR is the range that only goes from third quarter to first quarter. So 73.5 minus 64.5. Throw that in your calculator or do that on your own, and you will get 9 as your IQR. And then finally, standard deviation. We're going to have to go back to our calculator. So let's do our stat list in whatever format that is in your calculator. And you'll clear out the old information. And we'll start out with 63, 66, 66 again, 72, and 75. And once all that's in there, we do our stat, calc, one variable statistics, and we get these numbers. So our mean is 68.4. Our standard deviation, sigma x, is 4.41. It looks like if we round it off, 4.41. So I can get rid of that now. So in conclusion, when we multiply every number by a constant, what changes? And we're going to have to go back to our earlier ones here. Our median went from 5.5 to 66. That changed. Our mean went from 5.7 to 68.4. That changed. Our range went from 1 to 12. IQR 0.75 to 9. And standard deviation from 0.37 to 4.41. So they all went up. So all of them changed. But how? How did they change? So they all changed. I'll throw a box around all of them. I'll say all changes. And the way it happens is it gets multiplied by that number we multiplied by in the first place. So if we multiplied every number by 12, then every one of our summary stats would be the original summary stats times 12. Let's verify that that's true real quick. So we have 5.5 originally. Clear this out. 5.5 times 12 should be the median below. Well, if I do the right operation, that might work. 5.5 times 12, 66. There you go. 5.7, our previous mean, times 12 comes out to exactly 68.4. And then obviously 1 times 12 is 12. 0.75 or 3/4 of 12 is going to be 9. And you'll just have to take my word for it that 0.37 times 12 is 4.41. But every one of those numbers gets multiplied by 12 because we multiplied originally all these by 12. So that is what happens when you multiply by a constant, which can also happen when you're changing units.